Welcome to MI Magazine presents Soul, a weekly entertainment show on fashion, arts and culture, relationships, mental health, and food. Our weekly guest hosts are Christie Grace Chambers, Carla Hill, Dr. Delvena Thomas, and Chef Irie. Now introducing our host, Miss Nicky, Gelin.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to MIA Magazine presents So I am your host, Nicky Gelin. We're here every single Wednesday at 7 p.m. And I do want to start the show by saying that we have 9 days left until Christmas. I have yet to finish my Christmas shopping. On a list of about probably 20 people, I have about maybe 3 gifts. Are you like that? Are you like a last minute shopper procrastinator? And one thing is, I am really dependent on Amazon. Like Amazon is my go-to, maybe it's your go-to as well. But this year, I want to support more Black-owned and more women-owned local businesses. So last week, Christie, our fashion consultant, she actually mentioned a few Black-owned local businesses, and there's a few that we also interviewed as well. So we were able to interview Cosmology. So it's a natural hair detangler. I have the detanglers myself. They're phenomenal, great Christmas gifts. We also spoke to Victor George, or VG Vodka. It's one of the only Black-owned vodka distillery within South Florida, or Florida, period. And there's also author poet Yona Harvey. So she wrote the book, You Don't Have to Go to Mars to Find Love. There's also Dubwise Miami as well, with a lot of Caribbean merch. And also Tanya Marie, she is a high fashion designer, or like a avant-garde fashion designer right here within South Florida. And you can also catch Cynthia Bailey rocking her creative or her dresses as well. So there are a lot of Black-owned local businesses right here within South Florida. And if you want to find that last-minute gift, I would definitely suggest just doing your research. Don't go to Amazon. Don't go to those big companies. Just stay local and support our local businesses. So if you have any local, Black-owned businesses, leave your comments, let us know. We'll share it on our different pages, Instagram, on Facebook as well. And also, so again, there's 9 days left until Christmas, and we've been itching to get out the house, right? I have definitely had a cabin fever. I have been wanting to venture out and see what's out there. And Miami Land is now in play. So Miami Land, basically, there's several parks within South Florida, in particular within Miami, that you can go kayaking, hiking. You can also just venture out and go camping. And go ahead and drop that video so you can see what I'm talking about. So did y'all just see that? Isn't that so exciting? So I do plan on maybe just planning a Miami Land trip with my girlfriends. It's outdoors. Visit miamiland.com for more information. So I want to pass it over to my first co-host. She is the wonderful Christie Grace Chambers, our fashion consultant. You can catch her on NBC 6's 6 in the Mix. So Christie, what do we have going on tonight?
Hey, Nikki. Hey.
Hey.
I love some Black-owned businesses. So thank you for that. I just ordered a journal earlier today from my Spelman sister, Lisa Rogers Cherry.com, like a journal that's going to be a stocking stuffer for my mother-in-law.
Oh.
It's so many. And I stuff my other people's stockings with this lip gloss, but you have a lot of gifts to buy, it sounds like. So you better get going on that. But tonight, I just wanted to talk about reasons why you would hire me or a stylist or wardrobe consultant, because Nikki, thankfully, I've been really busy this week, and I just want to point out reasons why people might be interested or need to. So I'm going to 3 or 4 reasons. So the number one reason, my client on Saturday was actually a bride. So that was my first bridal client. And she's a repeat client, but she has no clue, right? So she's not into fashion, and she didn't really care. She knew she wanted to look sexy on her wedding day. And so I worked with her. We found her a dress. I went and bought her accessories. I brought like 2 or 3 for her to choose from, or we kind of decided together. The shoes, she had a second dress. I even helped her with her robe for getting dressed. So it's for people who have no clue how to be fashionable. You would hire a wardrobe consultant. Then on Sunday, I had another repeat client. I actually work with her monthly, and she's fashionable, but she just wants to upgrade her wardrobe. So I'm pulling in pieces that she would never pick for herself. And she's a very busy woman, has 3 or 4 businesses. So what I do is I bring clothes to her home once a month. And so she tries them on. And then today I made the few returns. Actually, there were only 2 things that she didn't keep. And so people who are busy, no time, that's why you would hire a wardrobe consultant. And then I also on Sunday met with a gentleman. Now, I usually work mostly with women, but his wife is my friend, and she gifted him with a wardrobe consultation with me. And it's because he was stuck. So if you're stuck with clothes from like 2003 and you're like, oh snap, I was the stuff wearing this shirt, but right now in 2020 it's not really working for you. So if you're stuck in your clothes from 2003 and 2004 because they still fit, not necessarily the right look, especially if you're on another level at this point. So also the final client I've had this week, I actually just sent her something virtually. She's having her big 50 birthday in the DMV area. So she doesn't even live here. And she's also a repeat client. So I'm thankful for all these repeat clients. But because we're in this pandemic, her boyfriend is just hosting her at his house, 10 friends. So she was like, Christie, I don't need to be super dressy, but I don't want to be just casual. I want to have an elevated casual look. So we knocked that out. She's happy, and we picked it out. I sent her jewelry, even down to rings. Here's the ring you should buy. Here's the bracelet you should buy. Here are the earrings you should buy, shoes. And so anyway, that's what I do. So I just wanted people to know, if ever you have any concern about what to wear and how do I wear it, that's when you would hire me or someone like me.
Yeah, I think Gisela from the Real Housewives of Potomac may need to hire you. So I don't know if you watch, but okay.
I've been seeing so many posts on social media about this. So I haven't watched this season, but I know in seasons past, I would love to work with her. Hey, Giselle.
Hey, Giselle. All right, Christie, thank you so much. And we'll see you next week.
All right.
Bye. And now to my next co-host. She is our board certified psychiatrist right here within South Florida, and is also the host of the Brain Love podcast. So Dr. Delvena Thomas, what are we talking about tonight?
Hey, everybody. Hey, Nikki. Are you ready to take the couch?
I'm ready.
All right. Listen, nutrition, intake, your diet, what you eat. I've been talking about this for the last 2 weeks, and you know this, Nikki. You've been going along with this. We're talking about food and your mood, how food can affect you mentally, and how it can be intrusive to your day and can actually present like a mental health disorder, like we discussed last week.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to be careful about what we're eating, because what you eat, it breaks down into the amino acids that you need, which are the building blocks to create all of these neurochemicals, these neurotransmitters, these feel good items that help our moods. And so I spoke about one of those last week. That was dopamine. Dopamine is very helpful in so many instances. And tonight we're discussing serotonin, how tryptophan will change into serotonin. Your brain changes tryptophan into serotonin. Serotonin helps us in so many functions, such as regulating and improving our moods, improving our sleep, helping our memory, increasing sexual desire and functioning. So listen, ladies who are menopausal or who are past the age of 50 and have noticed maybe decreased libido because of the changes in hormones, you want to listen up to this. Also for men too, who may have noticed with the change of life or as they're getting older, reduced sexual desire. Serotonin also helps to ease pain and helps with appetite. So how do we get enough tryptophan so we can then convert the tryptophan into serotonin? So here is my graph, similar to last week's graph where we talked about tyrosine and how that's converted to dopamine. Tonight we're talking about tryptophan in the foods you eat, so that way you can create enough serotonin naturally. So you want to ensure that you have the basics in place, especially if you know that from time to time you might struggle with sadness or with anxiety. So we know that turkey has some significant levels of tryptophan. Turkey is a common food that folks will recommend if someone can't sleep at night. Oh, eat a little bit of turkey meat, just a little slice of turkey meat, because serotonin can help with the sleeping. But there are so many other foods that contain significant levels of tryptophan. So higher than turkey, you can find tryptophan in pork. If you don't eat pork, if you don't eat turkey, you don't eat meat, soybeans. So soybeans, cod, if you're okay with seafood and fish, spirulina, which we mentioned last week as well, Nikki, that's also an option. And then if you go in the other direction, lower amounts of tryptophan can be found in beef, salmon, eggs, and potatoes. So guys, this is how you beef up that system. And if you have any questions, of course, you can visit my YouTube channel, which is Dr. Delvena Thomas. I have a couple of videos during which I discuss food and your mood and how eating you can eat and cause positive changes in your brain chemistry. So check it out when you have time. And so we're going into the holiday season. Nikki, I really wanted to remind folks that you have support out here. There are people you can talk to. If you can't talk to a family member or a friend, or if your mental health professional is not available to you, or if you don't have one and you're in crisis, if you're feeling alone and desperate and overwhelmed, don't think about suicide. But if suicide has become an option in your life, or if you're considering it, please call the National Suicide Prevention Hotline at 1-800-273-8255. Guys, suicide is not the answer to a temporary problem. Remember, everything in life pretty much is temporary for the most part.
Wow. Okay, well, Dr. Delvena, thank you so much. And yeah, we'll see you next week.
You're very welcome. Brain love, guys.
And now to my next co-host. She is a national TV host on PBS and our arts and culture expert. So Carla Hill, what do we have going on?
It's so great to see everyone. Listen, you were talking about gift giving, and 'tis the season, and the season for performances. Pre-COVID, we'd be going to all kinds of performances, including getting ready for Alvin Ailey, where I have some great news. Alvin Ailey American Dance Company is doing a virtual season. There is nothing more majestic than this image than Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater. This is an image from the renowned ballet Revelations, and this historic piece turns 60 this year.
Oh,
so
wow.
they're free, isn't that right? 60, and the company is
a long time.
Yes. So they're offering a free virtual season in the month of December. You have to check this out. There will be this is their first ever, obviously, online season. There will be dance master classes that people can participate in. And there will be a special Decades of Revelations that includes unseen footage of the world-renowned and beloved ballet, as I mentioned, celebrating the 60th anniversary. If we do have the picture of Robert Battle, the artistic director, there's always a Miami connection that I want to bring. Robert Battle is a son of Miami, and he is a graduate of the great magnet school, New World School of the Arts. Can you tell I'm a graduate of New World? Robert is my classmate, as a matter of fact, and he is now the artistic director of Alvin Ailey and is leading the helm in this virtual season. There is also going to be a wonderful debut by Jamar Roberts, who is also a New World School of the Arts grad and now company member and resident choreographer. Jamar is debuting a work entitled A Jam Session for Troubling Time. And the work uses the great American art form of jazz to uplift and showcase our resilience as a people. Really important to know is that you can go to alvinailey.org and look at the virtual season schedule. There is something for almost every day of the month. Plus, you can go back and see things that you missed. And, the motto right now with Alvin Ailey is still we dance. So it's my honor to be here as the cultural expert for MIA Soul and encourage you to support this Black American dance company that infuses ballet, modern, all kinds of genres, even hip hop, to a new audience. Revelations is 60 years old. If you've never seen it, if you have seen it, it is always such a beautiful reminder of our people and our heritage. So go and check out the free virtual season of Alvin Ailey, and hopefully soon we'll be able to see these works in person again. Remember, support the arts any way that you can, and certainly support our Black artists. So that's it. I hope to see you all virtually at an Alvin Ailey performance.
Yeah, and it's free.
It's free. It is free.
It's free
for the month of December.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Carla, and we'll see you next week.
All righty. See you.
And now my next co-host, you can catch him on American Public Television for Tasty Islands. He's also a private and personal chef. So Chef Irie, what do we have tonight?
What's going on, Nicky? What's going on? You know how we gotta start the show, baby. We gotta start the show right. Yeah, so what are we having today? We are having a cocktail made with leftover cranberry applesauce. Yes.
Oh.
Yes. So I had some cranberry applesauce and I have some gin. I got some ginger beer and I have some pineapple. Guess what? There's our cocktail making. Awesomeness. So it's the week before Christmas, I think. Yes, the week before Christmas. And what am I talking about today? I'm talking about Christmas Eve. Yes. I don't know. What do you normally do on Christmas Eve, Nikki? What's a good thing that you normally do?
You know what? So we normally so for me, it's hot cocoa with marshmallows. We bake cookies and just movies all night. And then midnight.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I hope the movie selections are awesome this year. So we live here in South Florida, and of course, multicultural, all kind of stuff happening. And one of the things that's, for one of the cultural aspects of Christmas Eve is Noche Buena. Yes. So that good night. Yes. Or, Christmas Eve. And, if you are of Spanish heritage, you're from South America, Puerto Rico, Cubano, you're from Spain. Noche Buena is like a really, really cool night. It's not just cool because, it says it is, but it's one of the biggest food nights in Spanish culture and in the Christmas holiday season. So we're talking plates and tables of food, and Nia and Tito, they bring in food, and everybody bring in, it's a big buffet. Um, but of course, you're not going to have most Noche Buenas in South, especially in South Florida, without the pig, lechon. Yes, there must be some pig, and whether that's a roast pork butt or some other roast pork butt, but some of the Noche Buenos that I've been to, we are talking whole roasted pig. Yes, whole roasted pig, baby. And we're talking roasted in the La Caja China, the Cuban microwave box. Yes, we should put that up on slide. But for the tradition is definitely big in Spanish families. Like I said, in South America, if Mexico. So we have all types of food. From tamales to bacalao to buñuelos, those small donuts. Yes, I'm sure you've heard. Yes,
I had those. Those are good.
But not only is it big in Spanish country, but it's also big part of Filipino. Yes, yes, it's big in the Filipino tradition, Christmas Eve, and I'm sure in other places as well. But just like everywhere else in the world, when it comes to celebration, food is a big part of those celebrations, and of course, food is a big part of the festivities for Christmas Eve. So if you're over there in the Philippines, you're having menudo, you're having spaghetti, and this is not savory spaghetti. This is a sweet spaghetti, made with banana ketchup and hot dog and all kind of stuff. And they got an interesting fruit salad, so it's not just fruit, it's fruit with dairy, cheese, all kind of stuff that's in it. So that's what's happening, the week before Christmas. Everybody's looking forward to Christmas and Christmas Eve. And, I haven't been there shopping. I went to the mall the other day. That was the first time I've been in the mall since last year.
Woo!
So,
did you survive?
Take me out, Nicky, and hold my hand.
All right. Well, I hope you get your shopping done in time. We have 9 days left.
Look here, I'm not stressing about it. I'm going to make some sorrel, and I will be giving those as gifts. So if you, I make sure I save you one.
Yeah, I'm on your list.
If you're a drinker, I'll save you a bottle.
Thank you.
So that's the chef's table today, and see you next week.
All right, good seeing you.
All right, baby.
All right, we'll see you next week. And now to our featured guest. She is the Chief Experience Officer of SocialXchange Miami. So Alexis Brown, thank you for being our featured guest tonight.
Of course, anytime. How are you?
I'm doing really good. So I have been to a few of your events. It's been so really lit and hype and so much fun.
Yeah.
And I think I've been so 2013 is when it launched, right? Around that time? Okay, so I've been going ever since probably 2014, 15 is when I started, and it's now 2020. So we have a lot to talk about.
Yes, very much so.
So what or whom influenced the inception of SocialXchange Miami?
When I came back, I'm born and raised here in Miami, in South Miami, and I went to Hampton University for undergrad. And when I came back, the simple question of where are all the young Black professionals or just Black professionals? And, I was involved in my church and I was involved in my sorority, but it just still wasn't enough. It wasn't the community that I became accustomed to at a historically Black college. And everyone just says they're not down here. And I'm like, they have to be here. There has to be a whole bunch of me's that are looking to connect. And I started the event as a simple happy hour just to bring together young Black professionals to just let their hair down, have reasonable drinks, and just to hang out and have a good time. And I tell people, especially if they're in nightlife, when I started SocialXchange in 2013, Wynwood had just started. So imagine me with no Wynwood. Where did you go? It was just really South Beach. And as we all know, it's not very color friendly. And even for professional people, it's a very tourist driven area in the last, probably 10 years or so, if not longer, in regards to nightlife. So that's the simple way it just started. And from month to month, it grew and different opportunities came from it. And about 4 years ago, I started working SocialXchange full time. So yeah.
Oh, that's good. Oh my gosh, congrats on that. Yeah. So there was a need and you filled that void basically. There was a need for the community and you were able to kind of answer that need that we needed. So thank you.
Yeah.
So
sure.
what obstacles did you have to face along the way, especially being a woman of color?
A lot, but the biggest thing is just being of color in nightlife is very difficult. Miami does not celebrate things of Blackness. That usually it's a lot of unknown and a lot of people are afraid. So being able to come in and to kind of tear down those barriers and say, hey, these are Black professional people that are teaching your kids, that are maybe your doctors, that are your attorneys, and they deserve to have somewhere to go that's culturally relevant for them. And usually at the beginning, people are usually very nervous because the word urban, the word Black, it's like I said, it's not celebrated. It's not, you don't think, unfortunately for a lot of people, they don't think something positive. So usually it's kind of like a tester at the beginning. And then when the crowd comes in, they're like, oh, okay, like I get what you're saying. And it's an interesting endeavor. But I'm really blessed and just happy that I have the opportunity to be able to serve our community in this capacity. I think there's so much more to be done. In regards to creating a new sense of community for Black people, I think we have to be very intentional about it. It's not going to just naturally happen. And so as time has gone on, there's a lot more Black-owned event spaces and restaurants and things that are opening up slowly but surely. But, in 2013, there wasn't that many. But now as time has gone on, there's a lot more. And so I'm really excited to see the transformation in the market in regards to that.
That's good. So you've been connecting like young Black professionals and millennials since 2013. So how has that changed from 2013 to where we are right now?
Well, my demographic has grown tremendously. I've had folks even celebrate their 50th birthday party with me. So I tell people this is not a young thing, this is a thing. If you like the music, if you like the vibe, if you like the energy, come and hang out. I remember when I had she was like one of the oldest people I ever knew that was going. And she's like, my 50th birthday is coming up. And I was like, oh my God, like first of all, like you look amazing. And then two, it just showed me that there's a need, not just for, your millennials, but also your baby boomers, and Generation X, I think, is in between there. And so people are looking for things to do that they identify with that are culturally relevant. And so, so that's definitely one of the biggest changes is that we've done so many different events. We've done art events, we've done travel events, we've done community service and fitness events. So we've been able to expand our demographic outside of just young folks. And I'm not as young as I was when I first started it as well. So it's grown with me and it's also expanded. So
definitely. So we're in a pandemic. And my question is, how are you able, I guess, to sustain and still maintain SocialXchange Miami, given that we're in a pandemic? It's like, what hurdle did you have to go through and how were you able to overcome that given the current situation?
It was really difficult because, of course, nothing was open. So this summer I launched a Black drive-in movie series. So that was one of the things that we were able to do to continue to connect with our market as well as pick up new people and provide a safe and fun way to, get out. So it was called Drive-In and Vibe. And so we had a live DJ that was projected on the screen that did a little DJ party set before the movie. And then the movie happened. And of course we had Black-owned food trucks and other vendors there. So, which was really cool. So we did a few of those this summer. We're going to be probably bringing them back in January. We're going to be doing one in South Dade that was sponsored by former Commissioner Moss of District 9 from Miami-Dade County. So I look forward to bringing that activity down south, especially now that the numbers are going up again. It's kind of like a perfect timing. And then now we're at the Urban, which is a Black-owned event space in Overtown. It's all outdoor, so it's very social distance friendly. So I was very nervous about starting because COVID is real, and one thing I don't want to do is to get our guests sick. However, I do believe that it's one of the safest places to be able to go and to social distance and to hear good music and just to kind of hang out and get outside the house. So we did an art show 2 weeks ago during Miami Art Week. We did a pop-up outdoor gallery, which was really awesome. Sold a lot of Black art. And people can, again, just allow people to get out the house safely. I think it's really important right now. So I know a lot of people still are not going out, but for those that have a little cabin fever and just kind of want to venture out a little bit, I think it's a really cool, safe way too.
So, okay, so what events do you have like coming up right now? Anything out there right now that we should be aware of?
Yeah, so every Friday at the Urban, we have Vibe After 5, which is a happy hour from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. It's free, no charge. This upcoming Friday, we have a spades tournament, an ugly sweater Christmas party. So that's our theme for this week. We will have a New Year's Eve event at the Urban as well. And then also on January 1st, there is a soup and champagne party, which is a Haitian-inspired party for Jumu Soup for their Independence Day. So that'll be a really cool event there. And again, like I said, every Friday we're at the Urban, and every Friday we have a different theme. We have different Black organizations that host with us that like the last Friday we had a group of Black law associations that hosted with us. So we always have something really cool going on every Friday. So if it's your birthday or just want to get out the house, it's a great alternative to
every Friday.
Every Friday right now. So yeah.
That's awesome. And it's outdoors as well, right? So it's outdoor setting and
it's fully outdoor. The capacity is well over 1,000 people. We normally have about 300 people. So we're definitely under the 50% capacity mark for the event space. So it's the safest place you can go to. So yeah.
Okay. So what is next for Alexis Brown?
Next, I would love to do more corporate partnerships to leverage my experience in marketing strategy and event planning to provide more authentic experiences for brands that are looking to connect with people that look like me and you. As you know, there's a lot of I don't know if I say a lot of white guilt within corporate America of the lack thereof. So I would love to work along with brands to really create authentic programs to connect with our community. And for them to spend dollars in our community. So that's one of my goals for next year. I'm working on some real estate development stuff with my father, so I'm really excited about that. Investing in that, and then just looking forward to see what 2021 has to offer. Hopefully a little bit of less of COVID and just a little bit more traveling, maybe some things like that. So yeah.
Yeah. Me too, girl. Me too. Wow, those are great things. So what would you tell your younger self, and how old would you be? I mean, you're young right now, but I'm just, yeah.
I would tell my younger self to explore more, to not be afraid, to just kind of go for it. My parents have always been very, very supportive, but in regards to doing things outside of the box or outside of the norm, that's just not something that I was used to or they were used to. And so as I've gotten older, I'm a lot more exploratory, and I do those things just because I feel like, okay, let me just try. But that's one thing I wish that when I was in college and in high school, that I kind of put myself out there a little bit more, and just, I was out there, but I wasn't as exploratory as I think I could have been. So, yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you. Yeah. So I do plan on making it over to the Urban for like one of your Friday nights. Is it Vibe After 5 is what it is?
Vibe After 5. Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, it's on my list. So I'll be seeing you soon.
I hope so.
Yeah. Well, happy holidays, and thanks for being our featured guest tonight.
No problem. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.
Have a good night. So this show is brought to you by the Florida Lottery, and we have a really special guest for next week. So he is Derek Fleming, and he's one of the managing partner in Red Rooster Overtown. So you don't want to miss it, and we'll see you next week.